All right, now we're back at it for another long form video, y'all. This is for my subscribers on YouTube. So go give this video a like, please. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. And yeah, let's get into this. So back in, well, recently I picked up a sci-fi box from NECA and was a little disappointed because it was just filled with a bunch of aliens as usual. And I kind of wanted gargoyles at the time and just other stuff like Back to the Future or even RoboCop, or I was just interested in other stuff like Alf, or I was seeing stuff in the pop culture what I wanted as well, but I didn't want to take a risk and getting a bunch of rock and roll stuff, or even what's his name, Harry Potter stuff. So I stayed away and kind of was going for and the horror and sci-fi stuff, so I got a horror box, and it was okay. That was probably one of my first or second videos I posted on YouTube. But now we're going to be working through all the stuff that I found at RossCon, this last um 2025, the last couple months going to Ross, or just the last couple times going to Ross, how much I scored on some cool stuff that I would love to add to my collection because of nostalgic reasons, just they're old kind of things that I was into and I watched in my childhood. So let's go slowly and work through these figures now. So the first one I'm gonna be showing y'all is, what is this, Bob? Yeah, this Bob, this show used to be always on all the time when I was a youngster, and it was very relaxing and calm. I loved the way he drew trees and stuff. This just brings back a lot of childhood memories, for sure. And to see him there, and also just see him being pulled out the boxes on YouTube, was pretty cool to see him at Ross. Like, okay, they probably have so much of this stuff, now they're just dropping them off at Ross. So now we could get them for a decent price. And if you hear like dogs barking, that's my neighbor's dog. I'm a cat person, so it's kind of annoying. But, bear with me, please. Just giving y'all a warning. Be trying to do my videos when it's pretty quiet, but he might start up again. But yeah, if you like this video, go give it a thumbs up. Go give it a thumbs up. This is really cool. And once I, have some more money and decide to get a bookshelf, I might be unboxing some of these cool figures. Especially if I could find doubles for a really good price, I would love to start doing stuff like that. I don't know why, since I'm older now, I just don't take them out. But if I had the space, I would love to take them out. Now, this show was so cool, and it ended kind of horribly. And I think they even picked it back up and gave it a show where he was in prison in federal custody and stuff, and they just had the door unlocked and just feeding him, and it was pretty cool, but I think that was the movie, I believe. So they didn't even make another show, they just turned it into a little movie, I believe. I don't know, my memory's a little shot. But this figure is so cool, and to pick it up for under 20 bucks is such a bargain. Such a bargain. Do y'all love Alf? I love this show. This show's cool, and I think you can watch it still on Prime now. Prime has a lot of throwback stuff on there, just old school stuff that you can watch, and it's like you're watching old school television because it just comes right after another. Well, not really, because old school television, you only get what you get on the daily, you know, on that daily, the next day, you get another. Just how it worked out. Look at now. In one click, we could watch whatever we want to watch now. We're spoiled. We are spoiled. But yeah, y'all like this Alf? Y'all like collecting NECA? My first one was a few years ago when I seen that NECA was at Target. For years I stopped collecting and wasn't even into it. And I just jumped right back into it, and now I'm spending a lot of my hard-earned money on this kind of stuff. But hey, I'm still stacking. It has put a little dent, but not too much of a dent where it's affected. But I do gotta stay a little extra and, collect all my hard-earned. So I gotta sacrifice. We all have to sacrifice something to pick these things up, And so I sacrifice my time being out and about and spending money on gas and other stuff. Eating out so much. Eat at home, and you'll be able to pick up stuff that you love like this. Check out this Casey Jones. I had a feeling I kind of manifest all this into the universe because I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna find these. I'm gonna definitely find these at one of these Rosses by me. And I went to one, and the one I hate going to. I don't really like going to this Ross, but I went there and it was just loaded. And I'm wondering how it looks now. They might have a bunch of this stuff, and if it go on clearance, like I said, I might pick up some doubles just to take these things out and have these on display and have the other ones out on the bookshelf. So we'll see. We'll see how this channel grows and where it goes and where it takes us and where it leads. I would love to do card breaks, but I see that kind of stuff don't really hit. But if you'd love to see me order some cards off eBay and bust them all open and make a long video, or do you like me doing toy hunts and just going on adventures and finding the stuff in the wild? I'm having fun with this hobbies and stuff like that, but I would love to grow this into something where, we could start doing watch parties on Instagram or even I don't know how we could do watch parties on here, but I could even do live streams on here. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's all about time. Time, and right now I'm not doing the school thing, so I have the time in my hand to dedicate it to this channel, and let's go. So this is another one I found. Check that out. What y'all think? Back to the Future. I love about figures too because stuff from like 20 years ago I see now, and I'd love to pick the kind of stuff up, but that's a whole nother kind of hunt. That's going to flea markets and stuff like that. And right now, I'm just getting my feet wet, just going to the little stores nearby. I work overnight, so whatever works. Would not me having to go so much out my way. So this is fun, and I like new stuff. But when you do go through garage sales and stuff like that, you find new stuff and it's old stuff and it's for cheap. So, it's pros and there's cons, but it's a lot more pros than cons. So I don't know what I'm doing. Waste my time at these retail stores. You know what I'm saying? Huh, really cool. And one of these, it came, yeah. So I had to put tape on this one because everyone I want to make sure they're immaculate because there's so many of them. So I made sure they're immaculate. The lady that put it in the bag actually ripped this, and I almost took this back, but I was like, nah, just don't be petty and just take it as it is. Whatever. Just chalk it to the game. But I should have took it back and got my the right one. The right one that was correct. No sheams, no shams, and that's another thing. These NECA figures that are going to Ross, they're they're all brand new, you know. And now we're gonna get into the big stuff. Now the big stuff I paid, and it's still a few more in the wild that I've been passing up, and they're so big, they're massive. I don't know if I want to collect all of them, so I haven't picked them all up, but I should just to do it, just to have a full set, or maybe just get two more. But it's the gargoyles. How cool is that? How cool is that? And I think I roughly know how much I spent for each one of these. So we're gonna work backwards with these. We're gonna work backwards with these and see how much I spent. Instead of spending on retail price and going online and going to the NECA store and waiting forever to NECA sends my items, or sometimes sends them quick and sometimes don't send them at all. You gotta hunt them down just for them to send your stuff. Yeah, that's crazy. They don't have enough workers, but they have all this product, and that's why their bubble burst and they couldn't get everything off because they couldn't. I don't know. I don't know the situation with them, but I know they have a horrible system of shipping and everybody avoids. They'll pay more. I will pay more sometimes not to order from there just to get a certain figure, and that's wild because I should be able to go to NECA and order what I want and get it at a decent time. But no, they don't got enough people to distribute, get it out to you. I'm not even gonna try to waste my time trying to speak all like I'm smart enough. But let's get into the pricing. So I paid about $20. So 20, paid about 20, 40, about 17. So I say another 20, 20, 40, 60, 17, 80, about 17, 90, 100, another 17, 120, $10. So it's like 7.99, but $10. So that's what 130, about $130, maybe like 140 after tax. And that's for one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 figures that I don't have to pull out of a blind bag or blind box. 7 figures that, I actually wanted for my collection. That means something. So yeah, I'm glad if y'all stayed all the way to the end. I love you. You guys are awesome. And, make sure we go comment, make sure you go like this video. Make sure you go subscribe to this channel. And if you like videos where I'm just talking about whatever, shooting the mess, then let me know. You know what I mean? I'll keep making stuff like this because these ones actually take a little more time because I have to look at it, make sure everything's correct, and work it out like that.